Welcome to Funky Mind's Billion-Dollar Sales Secrets Lesson 5. You've likely encountered slogans that just sort of resonate, right? They feel true long after you hear them, almost without question. Today, our deep dive unpacks a surprisingly powerful cognitive shortcut. We're pulling insights directly from excerpts focused on the rhyme as reason effect in sales. We're going to explore how something as simple as, well, words, when arranged with a certain rhythm, can subtly shift our perception of truth.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff. What we're really talking about here is a well-documented cognitive bias. Psychologists call it the rhyme is reason effect.
Rhyme is reason.
Exactly. And at its core, it's this phenomenon where people unconsciously tend to believe a message more just because it rhymes.
Just because it rhymes, really?
Extensive research shows that these rhyming phrases, they aren't just easier to recall, which they are.
Right, that makes sense. Easier to remember.
But they're also perceived as significantly more trustworthy and, crucially for this discussion, more believable, even when the actual claim isn't, super strong on its own.
That's incredible. So it's not just memory. Our brains are actually what? Building trust based purely on the sound.
Pretty much, yeah.
What's happening there? In our brains, I mean.
Yeah.
Is it just that it sounds nice, or is there something deeper going on?
Oh, it's definitely deeper than just sounding pleasant. It taps heavily into something called cognitive fluency.
Cognitive fluency?
Yeah. Basically, our brains equate how easy something is to process with how true it is. So when something is easy to say, easy to hear, easy to remember, like a good rhyme,
Okay.
our subconscious sort of interprets that fluency, that ease, as a sign that it's valid or correct. It's like a mental shortcut, a heuristic.
So if it flows easily.
It must be true, right?
Yeah.
That's the subconscious logic. It's not really about careful analysis. It's more about that feeling of effortless processing translating into perceived credibility.
Wow. That is a powerful revelation. So let's connect this out. For sales, marketing, brand building, the implication seems pretty clear.
Extremely clear.
You're not just aiming for people to remember your slogan anymore. You're actually trying to build trust through the very, structure of the message.
Precisely. So for you listening right now, if you're crafting an ad or maybe developing a brand tagline or even just trying to make a point stick in a presentation,
Yeah.
consciously using catchy, rhyming phrases can seriously amplify your message's impact. It's not just about being clever. It's about tapping into this fundamental psychological quirk to your advantage.
And the source material had some great, quick examples that really drive this home. Things like buy today, save the pay.
Classic, or less talk, more walk.
Exactly, and stay sharp, look smart, or get it fast, make it last.
Clean scene, fresh routine.
Right. It's amazing how, even though they're simple, they instantly feel more authoritative, more right, almost instinctively.
They really do. That's that subtle power of rhyme in action. It creates this sense of completeness, like internal consistency, that the brain finds kind of reassuring.
Okay, but is there a limit? Does it always work?
That's a good point. It works best for relatively simple, straightforward messages. If you try to make a really complex, nuanced argument rhyme, it could actually backfire.
How so?
Well, it might make the argument sound trivial, maybe even insincere. So it's really about finding that sweet spot where the rhyme enhances the message rather than, diminishing its perceived weight.
Got it. So if we're talking about the ultimate goal, pushing customers closer to saying yes, the key takeaway seems to be don't just inform them. You almost have to perform for them in a way.
I like that perform. Yes, craft messages that don't just dump information but resonate deeper subconsciously, leveraging that natural human tendency towards what feels easy and fluent.
Because that removes friction.
Absolutely. The goal is always to overcome resistance, build conviction. When your message just flows effortlessly and carries that inherent truthiness, you're smoothing the path, you're guiding customers more easily towards a positive decision.
Makes perfect sense. So a final thought for everyone listening. As you go about your day, maybe start noticing this rhyme as reason effect.
Yeah, pay attention.
How might it be influencing you? Not just in ads or brand messages, but maybe in news headlines or political slogans or just everyday information. What else are you perhaps subconsciously finding more credible just because it's presented in this pleasing, rhyming package? Something to think about.
Definitely something to mull over.
Subscribe and like for more videos.